Show you how easy it is to make these hand warmers. You want to make them approximately 4-inch square, and when you sew them they get a little smaller. But since you're using scraps, you can use like a 3.5, and that'll work just as well. And these are 2 different pieces that you paste together and you sew them together. But with this one, I did 1 piece. It's 4 by 8, because then you fold it in half and you would sew it. And this is very versatile because you can make anything any size. So this one is going to be a neck warmer, and the fabric is already folded in 2, and it is 8 inches by 12. Now the next step you do is you sew it. And I started right here, and I sewed a 1/4 inch or 1 centimeter, depends on your sewing machine, all the way around here. And since this is where I folded it, I just sewed it close to the edge, sewed it straight up here. Now this is left open so you can put your rice in it. And I have the straight edges on this one. I haven't trimmed it, but this one I trimmed. I used pinking shears to trim this because this fabric ravels quite a bit. You can also zigzag it, but you can also just leave it plain. Now this fabric is a cotton duck, so I left this open so I could turn it, but I probably would have left it open a little further if I had thought about it, because it is a harder fabric to turn than this one. So now we're ready to turn it to the other side. So this is when you'll need your tool to help punch out the corners. And I have a chopstick or a ruler, and you just gently poke the corners so that they are out nice and square. And you do that to all 3 corners. And at this point, you want to fold this in because it'll be easier to fill it with rice and then to sew it. So, whoops, I'd make it nice and straight and then iron this flat. And that way, when that seam is ironed flat, like this one, it's easier to fill with rice. Now, my rice, this is about 2 pounds of rice, and I have put lavender oil in it and about 20 drops. The drops are so tiny when they come out. 20 drops is not too much. So then I would take my hand warmer and put rice in the funnel. And with the hand warmer, I would fill it 2/3 to 3/4 full, like this. And then you can see that it's nice and squishy, and the rice is soft, which would be softer than if you use beans, but there's other small grains that you can use also. So now you have that little opening, and you would take it and sew it all the way across. There's no reason why you can make your hand warmers in different sizes. For this little one, I'm going to make 2 of these, and these will be great for your eyes as cold packs. I would take them and put them in a baggie and put them in the freezer. If you put them in a baggie first, they don't absorb as much moisture and get wet. Now, then you can also make them in different shapes. I had this fabric that had the different shapes and you can do it also by just cutting a heart out of a different color fabric. And then this neck warmer, like I said, I filled it only halfway because you want it to stay flexible so that you can put it around your wrist or any other part that is sore or bruised. I want to show you this other thing that if you're using a printed fabric, this is just a scrap that I have of this fabric, and I wanted it to be the bears like this showing here. So, and this, a certain thing too. So you have to make sure you won't cut it out just like this and then end up with something, you know, like that. Cut off the B on there. So it does have to be a little bit bigger in order to fit it all in. So only your imagination will hold you back on what you want to do. But remember, you want to use 100% cotton fabric because otherwise in the microwave it will start on fire or it could melt. So you can use corduroy, 100% cotton, any fabric that's 100% cotton, or even flannel. But do not use fleece or any other polyester fabric.